Hey guys, welcome back to MuscleMentor.net. I'm Brad Hall and this is Justin Harris, and we're still taking your guys' questions off of the internet.
So this is from Instagram. It says, it's kind of an interesting one. It's one we probably wouldn't have covered by ourselves. Got a topic I've been wanting advice for a while. Been training about 2 to 3 years and seem to stagnate for the entire time. Any tips for increasing calories and how to help with progressive overload, as I don't seem to be getting any stronger either.
So he wants tips on how to increase calories, or should he?
Well, on how to.
Okay.
I mean, we'll just kind of give him. He's got a couple things here. I need to know more, but I'm assuming there's a few common things he's doing wrong. I'm guessing he's eating when he's hungry. Probably trying to eat protein, but not counting, not weighing things out. You know, trying to maybe get a Subway sandwich or trying to order chicken when he goes out. So first thing I would do, as far as increasing calories, that's easy. Just eat more. If you don't have the appetite, that's a tough one, but then find more calorie dense.
We can talk on that.
Yeah, well, I'll let Brad cover that. I'm confused on that. Eat more. You're not growing on 8 ounces of meat and 3 cups of rice every 2 hours. You just eat 4 cups of rice every 2 hours. I don't have appetite, but eating more. You find higher calorie sources. If you don't know your exact calorie amount, you don't know your macros, that's the first thing. So get on a solid plan. But, start eating. It's simple. Eat, health be damned. But the best way to grow is eat red meat every 2 to 3 hours, and then add a carb source or a fat source with that. Either add potatoes or rice, or add a good fat source like nuts, olive oil, or guacamole. Mm-hmm. And put it all together, cut up some flank steak with some rice and some guacamole, and you got growth meal. And as far as, sorry, I'll cover the progressive overload.
Okay.
Oh, no, you can do the appetite. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when it comes down to, if you're someone who's struggling to get those calories in, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to have to do the same things, but it's a little bit different. So you have to find the protein source that, one, you're able to assimilate. Because if you're having, if you're one of those people whose steak doesn't, you're not able to digest it very well, you got to find something you can, whether it has to be fish or something else. Now, you're not going to have all those great fats that steak has in it, so you're also going to have to add fat to the meal. But that part's easy. Now, with the carbohydrates, the same thing. Certain people have, they eat that much rice at each meal, they get bloated, they're poor little gay stomachs, can't handle it, stuff like that. So what I do during those times is use very, very nutrient-dense fruits. So bananas are a great one. You can eat it and not feel full. There's close to 30 grams of carbohydrates per banana or something like that. So that's something that you can add onto the oatmeal that you're eating or something like that. That is a way to increase those calories without having to eat just more oatmeal or something that might bloat you or might not settle in your stomach so well. So you're gonna have to find ways to do that. So find the meat source that agrees with you, because you gotta have protein with every meal. Find a way to increase your carbohydrates. I like fruit because they digest really well, and it's a great way to get carbohydrates, even though it's sugar. But you're probably very not you to this person, but if you're having trouble with your appetite, you're probably not a person who puts on fat very easily.
Yeah.
So
Sugar is only bad because it digests quickly. If you eat frequently enough or combine it with other foods to slow digestion enough, then
Yep. So fruit's a great way. And then again with the fats, if you're eating one of those meats that doesn't have some fats in there with it, add olive oil to every meal. Shoot in your little shot glass olive oil, or some type of very easily assimilated.
2 tablespoons of 140 calories.
Yep.
Wait, that's almost 800.
Every tablespoon is 14 grams of fat. So I mean,
800 calories a day just adding it to each meal.
Yep. So that would be my advice for the appetite thing. And the other thing is, if you don't have an appetite, do a little bit of steady state cardio in the morning. I know it sounds counterintuitive. It actually helps to increase your appetite. Again, not cardio where you're sweating or dying or anything like that, but just go take the dogs for a little longer walk than you'd like, and you'll come home and that'll help stimulate your appetite a little bit.
Just as a conversation, I don't have the appetite problem really, but the only time I ever have, it's been from dry mouth. And adding any kind of sauce to the meal, like any 0-calorie sauce. Does that help for you guys at all, or
to make it taste better? You mean?
No, just make it digest. See, I guess I don't understand appetite, because I just kind of trying to figure out what low appetite's like. Because I've had dry mouth and it's hard to chew.
Oh.
So I just add some liquor to it, then I can just swallow it whole. Like if I add a sugar-free ketchup or something, then you don't have to chew.
No. At this point, it's just your stomach. Well, for me, looking at the plate of food, I just have no desire to put it in me.
Yeah, see, I don't get. It goes back to genetics, because my my great uncle on my mother's side was a billy goat, and I'm this much polar bear. Was while we're talking, we were doing in like third grade. We were learning about heredity and genetics and race and ethnicity and stuff. And everyone was saying like, oh, I'm Polish. Oh, my mom's Irish. Some hillbilly kid in my ass goes, I'm this much polar bear.
That's awesome.
He was serious too.
Hell
He must have really. He was in his mind. He still wanted to have a polar bear or something. But anyways, go back to progressive overload. I'm not getting stronger. Remember, stronger isn't just progressive overload. Go find some power lifters. You'll get stronger. They won't make your muscle stronger. They'll change your technique. I went to Elite FTS and added like 50 pounds to my bench in 20 minutes. Just pure. And that, as someone who's already benching around 500 pounds, just pure. Technique. Yep. But that doesn't mean bigger muscle growth. What are we actually doing with the muscle? We're contracting a muscle. So the muscle, there's myosin active, the muscles have to contract like that. And so there's certain exercises where just lifting heavier almost guaranteed to work the correct muscles. And you can look at power lifters, and the exercises that do that are the muscles that are big on power lifters. And so we're going to say chest and back. And so look at a deadlift. There's variations of deadlift: Romanian deadlift, stiff leg deadlift, snap grip deadlift, rack deadlifts. But any variation, like a stiff leg deadlift, takes the stress off the back and places it on other muscles. And what happens to the weight you have to use? It decreases.
Right.
So what that means is, to lift the most in a deadlift, the way you're strongest in a deadlift is to put your body in a position, in a biomechanical position, where the back is doing the majority of the work, because that's the strongest muscle through that motion. So getting stronger in a deadlift guarantees that the muscles you want worked in your back are getting stronger. Now, if you're doing a stiff leg deadlift, you can get stronger in a stiff leg deadlift by making your back do more work, but that's counterproductive because you're trying to make your hamstrings work.
Lead to injury.
So in something like a deadlift, progressive overload means doing more reps with more weight, because if you get stronger or you do more reps, if you are able to get stronger, it guarantees that your back got stronger, because your hamstrings aren't strong enough to take the load over. Your back is the strongest muscle.
Well, this harkens back to kind of the DC thing that you were talking about, the rest pause training. You have to find a way to increase your total work done. Now, if you're purely basing, like, I'm not getting stronger off every time you go in the gym and you do 4 sets of deadlifts and you're stuck at the same weight, well, you got to find a way to get over that weight, and that way to get over that weight isn't just to go back and keep on trying a heavier weight and missing it. The way to do that is maybe something like the rest pause or something, where with that weight, instead of, say you can get 11, well, do 8, then take a short little period of rest, do another 4, take a short period of rest, and then try and finish off with 2 or 3. Like you have to create a stimulus to be able to keep more time under tension on that muscle. You still have to work that muscle more, but if you're just trying to do it with a weight that you can't get, you're not going to get stronger.
Brad jumped me on that, because that's where I was kind of going with it.
How you like me now?
But I was saying on certain things, like like a deadlift, there's just try. If as far as progressive overload, just try to get stronger. If you can't, you need to lift more weight with more reps. So find ways to do that. Shorten your rest time. Do some kind of rest pause. But you're guaranteed the right muscle is going to work. There's other exercises like a squat, where people think of it as a leg exercise. You're doing squats to train your quads. Mm-hmm. Well, getting stronger in a squat doesn't necessarily mean your quads are going to get stronger. You can place your feet wider and bring adductors in more. You can put the bar lower on your back to get better leverages. You can throw your knees out at the bottom, bring your glutes and adductors in more. You can bend over more at the waist. You can involve your lower back. And actually, when you combine it all, the strength of your adductors, glutes, and lower back is far stronger than the strength of your quads. Yeah. So at the end of the day, getting stronger in a squat means your quads are doing less work. And if you look at top powerlifters, none of them have the kind of sweep that a bodybuilder does.
Just some big old butts.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful on progressive overload in that way. And as far as a squat, getting stronger doesn't mean jack shit as far as making your quads bigger. So you need to find other ways to progressively overload, and that's increasing the volume, changing your form to place a harder stress on the quads with the same weight. So maybe you don't get stronger, you use the same weight, but each week you try to keep your feet a little bit closer together, or try to go slower on the way down, or make sure that you're keeping the tension on your quads. So the strength thing is hard, is because if you're a power lifter, yes, you need to find ways to get stronger. And if that's your only goal, if your goal is to compete in bodybuilding and you just want to gain weight and be strong, then there's tons of good powerlifting programs out there. The Cube Method, there's the 5-3-1, 5x5. And those programs are specifically designed to get stronger in a movement whether or not a muscle gets stronger and whether or not a muscle gets bigger. And so if that's your goal, follow one of those programs, and they'll have percentages each week, and they'll stagger things, and it'll be designed to keep your body able to get stronger in a linear manner, even though you might not be getting, you're not maxing out each week. But we're coming from a bodybuilding perspective, and so if your goal is to get bigger muscles, it's not just moving more weight. It's putting a higher workload on the muscle, and like Brad talked about the different intensity modifiers. You can increase volume, you can decrease time between sets, you can do rest pause, you can do drop sets, you can
frequency.
Yeah, you can increase frequency. There's all sorts of things, and so what you want to do because you're not going to get stronger every workout, it's just not the way it works. The muscle doesn't get stronger. So every workout, what I try to have my clients do is, on at least one exercise, we progressively overload in some manner. Either we do the same reps or same weight for more reps with the same form and with that exercise in the same position in the workout. Meaning, if you started with that, if you did that exercise fourth last workout, you can't move it to first this workout, be stronger and think you got stronger. Either that or decreasing the rest time in between sets, adding rest pause, and making sure you get more total reps with rest pause. Even if you if you pick to try to do the same weight for more reps and you don't get more reps, then hold the negative on that last rep. Do something to increase the workload on at least one exercise every workout. And this is a marathon, not a race. So if you do that every single workout over 10 years, I can guarantee you'll be bigger and stronger